Surprise, everybody. Yes, this is a must-have comic book list, but not for the comic books that are coming out for April 1st. This is your must-have comic books reading material, I guess I'll say, for your quarantine and or shelter-in-place scenarios. Since we are in semi-lockdown, I guess you want to call it, and the comic book stores are closed, at least in my area they are. And there are no comic books for me this week, for now, or next week, or the next few weeks to come. I will be making videos like this, I guess, for the next couple of weeks. Just letting people know what's going on, what they should do, what they might want to get into. And I'm going to show a couple of comic books that are good for reading, and some other cool stuff, as you can see in the background, that you can do besides read comic books. So, these books right here, all of them are not finished, the storylines, I guess. Most of them you can probably pick up digitally or in trade paperback form, if you can get it from eBay and or Amazon, if it ever comes. But just a couple of storylines that'd be good to take the time up. And the only reason I'm making this video now is because all the children are occupied doing schoolwork. And shelter-in-place schools suck. But, here we go. First one is Silver Surfer Black by Donny Cates and Tradd Moore. I believe this was only a 5-issue mini-series or something like that. And easily found on digital or trade paperback right now. But it's a quick read, but definitely a book that you should have when you don't have nowhere to go. Next up is a little bit of an older one. It's Batman from the New 52. And this is the Court of Owls storyline. Definitely one of the best Batman stories to date. So grab that if you can. As I said, definitely on digital comic things and all that other type of stuff, and trade and hard covers. Next, we have another storyline from the New 52, and I would definitely just read all of it if you could. And Jeff Johns' run on Aquaman was superb. Definitely must have in a collection anyway. But again, another storyline that is definitely available for digital consumption. And I believe I have like 1 through like 30 something. And definitely dope. I believe Ivan Reyes did like the first part of it, and then Paul Pelletier did the second part. Something a little bit newer, and another shorter storyline, but definitely something to hunker down in your home with. And that is a Flash Year One storyline by Joshua Williamson and Howard Porter. Superb. If you've never been into the Flash, this is definitely a book that you should get. Me personally, I loved it. It was pretty perfect. Independent book, These Savage Shores, which if you've watched any of my other videos, I've spoken about this at length before, especially when I was doing the LCS videos. Vampire story of a sorts in mid-Asia, somewhere over there. Pretty dope. And when main character confronts Dracula is outstanding. But definitely a book. I think it's a 6 or 7 issue mini-series or something like that. Available digital, I believe, and in trade paperback form. Which I definitely need to buy that trade paperback just because it's so pretty. Grab those. One of my favorite current runs, and yeah, it kind of speaks for itself. Everybody knows. If you're not reading this, then why are you collecting comic books, as Jim Comics would say? But Daredevil, Chip Zdarsky and Marco Cicchetto has been reigning terror on this book right here. And that right there, I think it's the second print. of number one, but this book is fire. I'm kind of aggravated at the Diamond shutting down because the next joint was supposed to come out next week, but good things come to those that wait, right? Definitely. Fire read. Very much reminiscent of the television show if you watched that and never read Daredevil before. But much more closer to Charlie Cox's Daredevil than anything else. And another one of my 2019, 2020 favorites is Once and Future. Number 7 just came out this past week. Well, 2 days ago, rather. But number 6 ends the first storyline. And also the trade paperback came out. This new comic book day that just passed. Best fantasy storyline out right now. And I'm going to say it if nobody else does. I think this will be the best fantasy independent book of 2020. I'll just say it there. From the storyline, the artwork, the colors, everything is perfect. And one other book, and this makes a long read. This is something you can sit down when the kids are not jumping around and asking for juice and stuff, and it'll last a little bit longer. It did take a long time to come out, but Doomsday Clock is a 12-issue maxi series, and a lot of reading in this. Awesome artwork. Jeff Johns and Gary Frank, they reign terror on this book right here. It took 2 years to finish it, but definitely worth the wait. I believe also available on digital and hardback forms. Definitely a fire series to have. As well as what I got here. Where is he? And one thing that Thanatos Comics and Matt, the boy who had 7, the 2 Matts, put me onto a little while ago. Definitely pure fire. The Jeff Johns around Green Lantern. Must have, must read. Yeah, that'll definitely make you feel better about yourself being in lockdown. Definitely one of the better books. And as you can see from the stuff in the background, we have stuff that is not comic books. And the Dragonlance Chronicles, which is a trilogy, and that is over 1,000 pages altogether, something like that. Got the Star Wars trilogy. If you don't want to read nothing, you can have something to watch on television. I got the Star Wars trilogy back there just because it was just easy to grab off the shelf. But we know, for us bingers, you got Breaking Bad, Power, Dexter, any other things that are older that the shows are finished, Fringe, etc. If you're tired of doing that, you can play video games. Stuff like The Witcher, Final Fantasy 13, Final Fantasy 7's coming out in 20 days now, something like that. So, there's things to do. Various other games that are at length that'll take you a while to finish while you are sheltering in place. You can just knock out, 40, 50, 60 hours playing some of these video games. Just wanted to show you a few more novels that you could read. Definitely a Robert Jordan fan. Not showing none of his books today. But The Magic of Recluse by L.E. Modesitt Jr. Definitely a good read. It is a series, but most of the books are like self-contained and they reference the history from book 1, etc. But not a extremely long book, but beautiful fantasy book to read. Got another book. This is a trilogy here by Brandon Sanderson called Mistborn. For those who like the female heroes and all of that good stuff, definitely something to get into. Really weird magical system using metals and stuff. Dope book, though. Highly recommended. And last book for the novels, if for my Star Wars fans out there that have not been satisfied with the last 3 movies, like myself, you can fall back to the pre-Disney era. And the Legacy of the Force, definitely a fire series to jump onto. This is the real Skywalker legacy right here. I don't know about nobody else, but this is definitely a must-have for any Star Wars fan. And last book I'm going to show, it's a manga, oversized omnibus type thing that I borrowed real quick from my daughter. And this is adults only, and that is Berserk. That is a hefty piece of book right there. And I don't know where you can get. I don't know if this is digital. I don't know if you can get that digitally. I got this for her from Amazon for Christmas, but definitely a beast of a book right there. It has a, what do you call it, a little bookmark in there, whatever. Definitely dope. So I won't belabor your time or nothing like that. This one's allow her to know what was going on with me. Sheltering in place, homeschooling, not fun. But there are so many things that we can do. Grab them old books, pick them up, reorganize your stuff, give them a read, play a video game, or binge out on something really dope that you may have already watched. Let's watch it again. All right, people, be safe out there. Watch yourself in them stores. If you must, glove up and mask up. It will be safe for yourself and those around you. Until next time, I'll catch you at the same bat time and at the same bat channel. Peace.